Ever found yourself starving at 3 p.m. or sometime in the early afternoon? You're running on fumes, you're reaching for goldfish, half a granola bar, whatever your toddler didn't eat, whatever is in the kitchen. And whether you're in the newborn haze or juggling work and mom life, snacks are not optional. Snacks are not optional because this is probably what you're going to be doing around 3 p.m. or when you're getting really hungry, reaching for whatever is around you. Snacks are going to be essential, but not all snacks are created equal. So I'm super happy that you're joining me for this episode today because we're going to be diving into why postpartum moms need real fuel, not just quick fixes, what makes a power snack that actually keeps you full and energized, what to eat before and after workouts, and my go-to high protein blood sugar friendly snack combos that don't take a lot of time. So tune in, learn how to stock your kitchen, your diaper bag, your work drawer with the snacks that support your recovery, your energy, and your sanity without spending hours in the kitchen. Let's get it. Feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, and like you've lost yourself in the postpartum chaos, struggling to rebuild your strength, heal your core, and feel confident in your body again? Hey mama, I'm Val, a functional sports dietitian, postpartum fitness coach, and a mama who understands exactly what you're going through. Welcome to the Strong and Nourished Mama podcast, where I help busy moms like you regain your energy, rebuild strength, and feel amazing through simple, science-backed nutrition and fitness strategies. If you're ready to go from depleted to strong, nourished, and unstoppable, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Mama, my program is open for enrollment, and I am so excited to share it with you. And I know you might be thinking, I just don't have the time. I don't have the energy for one more thing. And honestly, I get it because I have been there. And that's exactly why I created this program for moms like you, so you can take small, doable steps that lead to real results without burning out. Because you deserve to feel strong, nourished, and energized in your body again. And I'm going to be walking with you every step of the way. So join me inside the Strong, Nourished, and Energized Mom Method. It's an 8-week group coaching program. Go to wellnessbyval.com/program to enroll. Right now, I'm offering a lot of bonuses, $100 off enrollment when you pay in full, a free Fuel Your Recovery meal plan, and a free 30-minute nutrition one-on-one coaching session with me. And if you're wondering what this program is really like, I want you to hear it from one of the moms who has been through it herself. Here is Grizel.
Hey everyone, my name is Grizel. I am currently 10 months postpartum with my second baby. I decided to join the program because I had consistently had pelvic pain, back pain, a very weak core ever since I had my first baby, which was 5 years ago. And I knew I needed to strengthen those areas and just really wanted to be out of pain, especially being postpartum. I knew how much work it is, and I just needed some guidance. And to be honest, I got so much out of that with Val's program. She went into so much detail, her presentations, her calls, anytime I had any questions. Her breathing techniques were some of my favorite because I've consistently had issues with breathing properly, which sounds a little wild, but I was able to just learn a lot of techniques and a lot of exercises that I use now. I do CrossFit. I'm 10 months postpartum, and I'm in so much less pain than my first go around with my first baby, and so I just feel stronger. I feel faster. I just feel better all around. So I would 100% recommend this to anyone that's pregnant, anyone that's postpartum. I wish I would have had this program during my pregnancy. Unfortunately, I didn't, but just grateful that I had the opportunity to go through it while I was postpartum. So super grateful, an amazing program, and Val's just awesome.
I remember those early postpartum days when I was starving Marvin. I was always hungry. I could eat anything and everything. And I remember I never got full. I never got full. I could eat a burger, a fries, milkshake, veggies, a salad. And I was still telling my husband, okay, what's next? Because I'm I'm still hungry. I'm not getting full. What is going on? And of course that decreased over time, especially as I started to decrease breastfeeding. I think it was around like 6 to 8 months when I started to become satisfied with meals. I was still breastfeeding at that time. And so I was still eating quite a bit of calories, but it was not as much as I was, especially within the first 3, 4, 5 months after having my baby. And because I was so hungry and I was busy momming it up, I never had 2 hands to make a full meal. And so that is when I realized having quick, nourishing snacks on hand was a game changer. And maybe I've realized this my whole life because I'm the type of person that if I get hungry, I get hangry real quick. And I always need to have some sort of snacks on board because then that's going to affect my blood sugars, that's going to affect my energy. Maybe I have a workout or I'm teaching a group fitness class and I forgot my lunch or I need something quick, something to refuel. I have that in my work drawer or I have that in my workout bag. And so having these nourishing snacks on hand has always been a game changer, but postpartum is like a whole nother ball game. It is a whole nother ball game because you're feeding your baby and you're physically and mentally recovering and you are starving. So even now, almost 2 years postpartum, I still rely on smart snacks. So especially when I'm super active or I'm on the go, I'm having snacks and not only for myself, but also for my toddler. So whether I'm heading into a workout, chasing my little girl, sitting in a work meeting longer than I thought, about to teach cycle or a HIIT workout, I always keep something in my bag, in my kitchen, in my work drawer, something that's going to give me real energy and not just a sugar rush, because that's going to negatively impact my blood sugars. And then I'm going to have a drop and I'm not going to feel well. And then I'm going to reach for something sugary again. So let's dive into why snacks matter postpartum. When you're postpartum, your body is healing. It takes 2 to 3 years to fully recover after you have a baby. And if you're pregnant again within that time frame, let's say you had your baby and within a year you're pregnant again, you really want to make sure that you're nourishing yourself with snacks and meals and appropriate supplements to be able to refuel adequately, since that is the time frame that you're still recovering. And of course, it's going to be critical for your baby. If you are breastfeeding, then that's going to require more energy. That's going to require more calories. You're also going to be tired. You're going to be trying to care for another human while figuring out how to feed yourself. There's a lot going on. And so your needs are higher, especially in those first 3 months postpartum. And then, of course, throughout your breastfeeding journey, depending on how much milk you're producing. And snacks are going to help you meet this energy demand, this metabolic demand, without needing a full sit-down meal every single time, because we don't always have time for that, especially if you're a mom with a baby and a 3-year-old running around. It's going to be really difficult to sit down and enjoy a meal. So what are snacks going to help you with? Number 1, it's going to keep your blood sugar stable. This means you're going to have fewer energy crashes and mood swings. When your blood sugar is stable and it's in this good, healthy range, then it's not spiking super high and then dropping super low, which is leading to those energy crashes. Like, oh my gosh, I need caffeine, I need sugar, I need something stat. And then, of course, those mood swings. This is also going to support hormone balance. So if your blood sugars are going all over the place and there's blood sugar dysregulation, it's going to be really hard to have a harmonious hormone balance with all the other hormones, sex hormones, thyroid hormone, cortisol, insulin, of course, that's going to be involved with sugar. That's going to really impact all other hormones. And that's going to make it hard for you to not only have the energy you need as a busy mom, it's going to be really hard for you to lose fat mass. It's going to be really difficult for you to gain lean mass, to sleep well, and of course, take out any disruptions from babies and toddlers. It's going to negatively impact everything else downstream. So if we're not focused on managing blood sugars, and that's the real culprit, we got to look there. And snacks are going to help with that if we have the correct balance, which we'll talk about. Snacks are going to also help you hit your protein and your calorie needs. So if you have higher needs, so when I was breastfeeding, I had about 3,500 calorie needs, because especially when I started exercising, my calorie needs were very high, and it can be hard to eat 3,500 calories, especially when you're caring for a human. You may not be physically hungry. And then of course, it's going to be pretty difficult to hit your protein. especially if your protein is 130, 150 grams per day. It's going to be hard to hit those energy needs and those protein needs, and snacks are an easy way to get closer to that. Again, if we have the correct balance. Snacks are going to also help prevent that 3 p.m. hangry meltdown that leads to overeating later. So maybe you're super busy all day, you're ignoring hunger signals, and then all of a sudden your dinner hits, and then you're like, oh, I'm still hungry, and you're eating late into the evening. I have clients that I work with, and they will forget to eat in the morning because they're too busy. There's lots going on. Totally understandable. And then the afternoon rolls around and they are so hungry and hangry and irritable. Blood sugar's all over the place. They're like, why am I not recovering from my workouts? Why am I not sleeping well? Why am I gaining weight? Why can't I lose weight? And then they end up reaching for more food after dinner because their body is yelling at them like, yo, I didn't get this shit in the morning. I didn't get the calories. I didn't get the protein, the carbs, the fat, the plant foods, the fiber, and I am hungry. So feed me anything. And I want those sweet treats. I want those fatty foods. That's what our brain is telling us. And so now you're reaching for anything and everything that is around you. And it's not necessarily a bad thing to eat after dinner. Okay. It depends on your goals. It depends on what's going on. I've eaten after dinner plenty of times. Last night, I didn't eat after dinner. The night before that, I had a bowl of cereal with fiber and collagen added to it. So it's not going to be a bad thing if you are reaching for something after dinner, but think about why. Am I reaching for something after dinner? Why am I so hungry? Why am I craving sugar? Your body is trying to tell you something, okay? And we want to listen to it. Snacks are going to also support your milk supply and also your metabolism. If you aren't eating enough, then your body will sacrifice your milk. It's not going to make milk. It's going to say, we don't have enough energy on board. We don't have enough gas in the tank to make this milk. So stop making that, hold on to fat, and let's burn muscle for energy. Snacks are going to also give your brain and your body the fuel it needs to feel good. And snacks are delish, okay? Snacks are delicious, and they're going to have the fuel that your brain needs. And as a mom, we need that brain fuel bad. I swear, 2 years postpartum, I still have mom brain. I don't know. It's probably permanent. Now, not every snack is going to be one that supports us, okay? So I don't want to say good versus bad, but it's not going to be a snack that supports us in that moment, okay? Now, if I want a donut, a slice of cake, or some type of fun food, I'm going to honor that and I'm going to enjoy it and mindfully eat it. But when I am in a blood sugar dysregulation and I am running and trying to get some sort of snack, then there may be some snacks like that, like a donut, that's definitely not going to support that. It's definitely not going to support the blood sugar. Goldfish and fruit snacks, love them. Love them. They're awesome. But when you are hangry, it's not going to be something that your body's going to be satisfied with, and your body is definitely not going to be supported with it. But again, doesn't mean that you can't eat it. So here's what I look for in a power snack. Protein. Protein. We talked about it in last week's episode. Protein to keep you full, protein to keep you satisfied, protein to help reach your total goal, right? And this is going to help with building muscle and losing fat. You also want healthy fat for hormone health and satisfaction. So we need fat to be able to, one, absorb our fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K, but we also need fat for our hormone health. And if we're really, really restricting our healthy fats, especially, think avocado, think olives, this is going to negatively impact our hormone health, and it's going to put more stress on the body. Plus, fats are delicious. Fiber-rich carbs to fuel energy without spiking blood sugar. So when we pair carbohydrates with fiber, fat, and protein, we're not going to get that crazy spike and that dramatic drop, okay? So with a power snack, I want you to think protein plus fat plus fiber, and then carbs are probably going to be mixed in there, especially depending on your fiber, and that's going to equal a happy, energized mom snack, okay? And a happy, energized mom. You don't need all four perfectly every time, but use this combo as your guide. Where's my protein? Where's my fat? Where's my fiber? Where are my carbs? Now let's talk about snacks around your workouts, okay? Because there is a specific strategy that we want to really think about. This one's important. What you eat before and after your workout matters. So before your workout, the closer we get to our workout, let's say within 30 to 60 minutes, we want to keep it light. We want to keep it mostly easily digestible carbohydrates, carbs that are going to fuel your workouts, not something that you have to rely on the digestive tract to break down, because that's going to take a long time. You're not going to get the energy you need, and you're probably going to have GI upset, and that's not fun. Now, if you're just going on a light walk, a 10-minute jog, or something super chill, the meal that you had before is more than likely going to be enough. And that's okay. If it's been 4 hours, 5 hours since your meal, and you're going to do a mix of cardio and heavy weight training at an RPE of 6 to 8, RPE is rate of perceived exertion. Okay, so think on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most intense ever. You cannot hold it very long. You cannot say a single word. It's very vigorous. 1 is just sitting here right now listening to this podcast, right? Depending on what you're doing while you listen to the podcast. But me sitting here recording this, I'm not doing anything, right? It's not taking a lot. So my rate of perceived exertion would be a 1. Now, if you're doing a mix of cardio and weights or one or the other, and your rate of perceived exertion, your RPE is around a 6 to an 8, then you probably need to have something, especially depending on hunger. So listen to those internal cues that your body is communicating with you. It could be something as simple as a banana, an applesauce pouch. There's a lot of pouches that the purees of fruits that could especially be helpful. I know some of my endurance athlete clients use this, or maybe a rice cake with honey, dried fruit, regular fruit, something that's going to be easily digestible for you, and everyone's going to be different. Okay, so find what works for you, and you may have to do some trial and error, especially depending on the type of workout that you're doing. So on my way to the gym in the morning, a banana works great for me. In the afternoon, it's probably going to be something else depending on what the workout is that I'm doing. I want you, again, to avoid heavy protein fat the closer you are to your meal. We definitely want to limit fat within the 30 to 60 minutes. If it's 60 minutes, maybe even 90 minutes, we're probably going to need some protein. So something like an RX bar that has both carbs and protein could be super helpful. But the more protein and fat that you have, the longer it's going to take to digest, like I mentioned, and it's definitely going to cause GI discomfort, and that's not going to be fun. So what about after your workout? We want to rebuild and we want to recover with protein and carbohydrates. Okay. I had a client earlier this week, and she was like, I want to build muscle. I want to lose fat. And she was doing a lot for her workouts. She's walking, she's doing ice hockey, she's doing HIIT, she's doing heavy weightlifting. And so we're talking about her diet, and we're talking about the timing and strategy of protein and carbs and what her meals may look like, and if she's getting enough calories. And she says, but I've learned and been told like my whole life, like that carbs are bad, that I shouldn't have carbs. Like, what's up with that? That's not cool. And I'm like, I know, it's definitely not cool, because carbs are not bad. You need carbs. Your brain loves carbs, and your red blood cells can only utilize carbohydrates for energy. That's something to think about, okay? After your workout, you need protein and carbohydrates, not just protein. Now, if you're going to have a meal after your workout, cool, awesome. Let's use that meal, and let's make sure it's a balanced meal. Maybe it's a protein smoothie with fruit. I did this a couple of weeks ago after a very hot run. It was around lunchtime. So I said, okay, I'm going to make a smoothie with protein. I'm going to add my fruit, my spinach, my ginger, all the goods. And I'm going to have that to help cool me down. It was a great meal. Maybe it's more of a snack. So hard-boiled eggs and rice crackers, Greek yogurt, granola with berries. So if you're not eating a full meal soon, treat your post-workout snack like a mini meal, okay? And we need to have the protein, and we need to have the carbohydrates. Now, some of my favorite power snack ideas that I love. And of course, if you're listening to this and you're like, I'm not a fan of hemp seeds, maybe you try chia seeds, maybe you try ground flaxseed. You can always swap it out. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out in the show notes. At the very bottom of the show notes, I have my speak pipe. So you can actually click that link and record a question, and you will actually get a chance to be featured on the podcast. So that's just a little side note. If you did have a question like, hey, these are the snacks that I'm having, but this is how I'm feeling, or whatever question that you have, go to the show notes. At the very bottom, you'll see the SpeakPipe link, and then you can send me a voice memo. So on the go snacks that I love, Greek yogurt, because you can get the single container and you can get Greek yogurt that has 15, 20 grams of protein, chia seeds plus berries. Love it. That's easy. You can throw that in a bag. I can take that to work. A protein bar. I'm always throwing a protein bar in my bag, whether I eat it or not, and try to look for something that has about 15, 20 grams of protein. I found these delicious. I call them, I don't know, marshmallow bars. That's like a fun treat. It has 17 grams of protein. They're at Costco. I think they're called the Buff protein bars. 17 grams of protein. It has collagen in it. I think it has some whey in it as well. And I definitely count it as like my fun food treat with protein. But it has 17 grams. So that's definitely something you can add in. Just be mindful of the heat because that sucker will melt. A beef stick, string cheese, an apple, or some other type of fruit. You could do trail mix, whether you're buying it or you're making it. Nuts, seeds, dried fruit, dark chocolate, rice cakes. I got these dark chocolate rice cakes and I've been putting almond butter and chia seed and berries on top of it, and I love it. Here are some things that you can have at home. So especially if you're working from home, you're with the kids at home, something that you can leave in the fridge or something that you can quickly put on a plate. That's probably not as easy to take on the go. Cottage cheese plus pineapple or peaches or any other type of fruit. I just made a dessert with cottage cheese. I posted it on my Instagram. It's cottage cheese, protein powder, chia seed, and I put like a splash of milk in there because it's getting kind of thick. And then I put dark chocolate chips and strawberries, and it is so good. That was a really good dessert. My daughter loves it too. Hard-boiled eggs, hummus or guac plus veggie sticks. Maybe you have a tuna packet, the tear packet, whole grain crackers, a smoothie again with protein powder. Maybe it's a pre-made smoothie or just protein powder in a shaker bottle, and then you add water, shake it up, and go. Those can be really good. Some of my favorite pre-workout snacks, banana, maybe you add a banana and some crackers depending on how intense the workout's going to be and of course the time of day. Applesauce, dried fruit or dates. I really like the RX bars. And then rice cake with honey. Post-workout, of course, a protein smoothie, Greek yogurt plus granola and fruit, eggs, toast, avocado. I love to make an egg avocado toast, turkey roll-ups or wraps with crackers and veggies. Those are some of my great post-workout mini meals and snacks. So those are the things that I love. And pro tip, keep a snack stash in your diaper bag. In your car, of course, you want to be mindful of heat. And in your work drawer, at the house, something that's easily prepared. I made last weekend protein pumpkin muffins. I love them. It's almost pumpkin season. I'm not even that crazy of a pumpkin person, but it's almost pumpkin season, but I have them year round because they're delicious and they're high protein. But you want to make sure that you have these options readily available so that you never get caught hangry. You're never like, I need something now. And then you reach for a donut that's been sitting in the break room for like 12 hours. Like that's not fun. When we want to eat donuts, we want a fresh donut. At work, I definitely keep beef sticks, pistachios, protein bars, crackers, nuts, seeds in my drawer just to have on hand. So let's quickly recap. Snacks aren't just helpful, they are essential for postpartum healing, for milk supply, for energy, for your sanity, whether your kids are 2 years old, 10 years old, grown up, whatever. Snacks are essential. Focus on protein, fat, fiber, and carbs, so not just the quick fixes. And then pre-workout, go lighter on the protein and fat, heavier on the quick carbs, so you don't rely on digestion. Post-workout, bring on the protein, bring on the carbs. We want to rebuild, we want to recover, we want to refuel, and then stock your environment. So set yourself up for success with easy, ready-to-grab options. And if you want more guidance on postpartum fueling, snacks, realistic strategies that actually fit into your busy life, I would love to support you inside my 8-week group coaching program, the Strong, Nourished, and Energized Mom Method. Inside this program, you're going to be getting snack guides, recipes, meal plans, nutrition coaching tailored to your goals. You'll be able to log your nutrition to make sure that you're getting enough protein. You'll be able to download the recipes and look at all the data, which is super cool. Safe workouts to rebuild your core and your pelvic floor, and real life strategies to feel good in your body again. So join us now at wellnessbyval.com/program. I have bonuses available on that page, wellnessbyval.com/program. You're going to see the bonuses and they're not going to be here for long. So be sure to go and then check out the code on that page for checkout so that you can save an extra $100 off. You don't need more willpower. You just need a plan that works with your life. I've got you. Stay strong, mama. Stay nourished, and I'll see you next week. Hey, mama. I hope you loved today's episode. If it resonated with you, would you please take 30 seconds to share it with another mom, a mom who's looking to make healthy eating and exercise easier? Because we need that. And if you haven't yet, I would be so grateful if you could leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts. It truly means the world to me and helps the show reach more amazing moms like you. All right, time to chase my toddler around. Stay strong and nourished, and I will be back on Monday with another episode. Talk soon.